Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me for another Nimble training webinar. My name is Michaela Underdahl, and today we will be covering deals, pipelines, and reporting in Nimble. But for those of you that are just thinking about using Nimble, or those of you that are in trial, I also want to spend a minute or two covering what Nimble is. So Nimble is an easy-to-use CRM that works for you in both Microsoft 365 or also Google Workspace, and also everywhere else you work. And what we mean by that is that Nimble is available in your browser. We have browser extensions for all the main browsers, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge, which allows you to use Nimble outside of Nimble. Nimble also automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments into a unified contact record, and it automatically tracks all your interactions and remembers what all your next steps are. So it's also available on iOS and Android. And when I go back to using the extensions, the intention of us developing these extensions is to make it easy for you to access Nimble from the places where you are working. So from your inbox, we have plugins that you can use directly in your Outlook and directly in your Gmail, and then also in the browser. So you can take your data where you work and you don't have to leave the place where you are communicating with your customers to log the information in. So there's also less space for error. And I will also demonstrate that later today. So with that, let's jump into Nimble. So here we are on Nimble's Today page. This is the goal for the Today page is for everybody in the company to know exactly what it is on their to-do list, that all the most important things they need to take care of that day, and they can completely customize this Today page to fit their use case. So when you click on Manage Widgets, you'll see that you'll be able to change the background, upload your logo. You can also move these boxes completely around. So when you click on Add Widget here, you'll be able to see that we have several deal or sales related widgets. So we have the stage funnel, we have the deals where you can see the entire list of all your deals, and we also have the pipeline chart. So I will enable that one as well. You can completely move these around. So it depends on the role you play in your company, and you can also multiply them. So I like to have my calendar events in the first place. I also like to have my tasks next to it. And we also have a stay in touch reminder in Nimble that I also like to keep an eye on to make sure that I am following up with the most important people in my network on the regular basis. But if you're in sales or if you are the business owner, maybe you might want to make sure that you're also keeping an eye on all the deals or pending opportunities that you and your team are working on. So you can completely move them around. And you can also duplicate certain widgets. So when I close the settings, you'll be able to see that in deals, I'll be able to click here. And if I wanted to duplicate it, I would be able to duplicate it, but then select which ones I want to be focused on. So I can have one box with my deals and then also another box with the deals that my team is working on. So I can even pick their active deals. So this is completely up to you. If you would prefer to just go through the drop down, you can absolutely do that, or you can definitely duplicate it and see it next to each other. So those are deals. So as we're going through the drop down, you can see that you can see your active deals, those that have been won or lost, and those that your team has been responsible for. In a stage funnel, you can visualize how much you have in each stage of your funnel, and we will go through development pipelines just in a second, so you can completely customize the individual stages of that sales pipeline. And Nimble allows you to create as many pipelines as you want. So then you would be able to quickly select which one you want to focus on, or again, you can duplicate it and see them all next to each other. So the multiple deals pipeline are very useful when you sell multiple products or you offer multiple services. So for each of them, you can create a separate pipeline. And in the pipeline chart, you'll be able to visualize in the graph how much money you have in each stage and so on. So this is the today page. And just to reiterate, today we are going to be focusing on just deals, reporting, and the pipelines in Nimble. So if you're interested in the overview of Nimble, we have recordings on our YouTube, and last time we did it was last week, so it's very recent. So now when we go back to deals again, I want to show you all the different places from which you can create deals inside of Nimble. So this is the contact record in Nimble, and as you can see, it gives me the entire view into the relationship with the person. So this is our CEO, John Ferrara. On the left side, I can see all the information about him, and on the right side, I see the history of the interactions. And if I want to create a deal, I can do so directly from the contact record. I can name the deal. I can set up the probability, expected close date, the amount. I can also set up the primary contact, which will automatically be grabbed since I opened it on John's contact record. And then I can also add participants, and I can add as many participants as I want, as long as I have created Nimble contact records for them. And then from the participants' history of conversations, we would automatically link it to the deal. So then when you open up the existing deals, you will be able to see everybody's profiles, everybody's contact records that are involved in this opportunity, and then also see the history of the interactions and any specific follow-ups that have been scheduled. Then you can select on which pipeline you want to put it on, select the appropriate stage, and again, there you can create as many pipelines as you want in Nimble and also as many stages as you want, and you can customize it to your sales process. You can assign deals to either yourself or anybody on your team and set up the privacy. So deals can be private, they can be viewable and editable by everybody, or you can make them to just view only. So anybody on your team can see them, but they will not be able to make any changes. So that's one place from Nimble where you can create them. And then when we go into the deals section in Nimble specifically, this is where you can see what the deals pipeline looks like. You can view it in the pipeline, and you can just scroll to the right depending on how many stages you have created. And just to let you know, we are in the process of complete redesign of this view. So very soon, in the next few weeks, I believe we will be launching a completely new deals view. It will have also more capabilities, and it will just have more modern interface. So you can view your pipelines in a pipeline, but you can also view them in the list. So depending on what you prefer, totally up to you. So when we go back to the pipeline view, as you move your opportunities through the funnel, you can just drag and drop them. Those that you see that are in red, going stale, that just means that they exceeded the number of days that you set up that you allow each deal to stay in each stage. So then you can manually just move them up to refresh it, or you can also go into settings and completely change the number of days that you want the deals to be in each stage. So this is what the deal looks like when we open it up. You can also add any description here. And when we're on the main view here, this is where you will be able to see the entire history of the communications with all the people involved. So I only have Colleen involved in this specific opportunity, and we have only interacted together on Twitter. So Nimble automatically grabbed that, but once there is any communication that has been done on email, it would appear here. So I could go directly into messages, and then if I want email, I would be able to see the emails. Under activities, this is where I could create tasks that are related just to the deal. I could create calendar events or create calls. So tasks, those are to-dos. You can set up specific date and time for when you want to complete them. You can assign them to yourself or again to anybody else on your team. Nimble also has custom activities, so you can set up custom activities, again, depending on your sales process, that they fit your use, and then you can create specific activities as follow-ups to your deals. Logging notes to Nimble is also very easy, and you can also attach files, and then you can attach them from OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, and also your computer. And then you can review all the history under that specific deal. When we go back to the pipelines, when you click on New Deal, this is another place from which you can create a new deal and fill it up here. And like I mentioned, you can just move the deals through the pipeline all the way to the end. And when they reach the last stage on your pipeline, you will be asked if you were successful and you closed the deal, or if it was unsuccessful, and then you will be able to add the reasons, what happened, and then it will forever be stored on all the participants' contact record. So you can always view the history and see what happened. Deals can also be exported to a CSV. And when we go to customize pipelines, this is where you will be able to see how you can edit existing pipelines. So you could change the name. You can also edit the name for each of the individual stages, set up how long you allow each deal to stay in each stage here. You can also drag and drop, add stages as necessary, or you can create a brand new pipeline here. So you would start with naming it, and then you can just set up the stages depending on what you are selling and what your process is. Some of our customers go for only few stages. I think the experts recommend maximum of 5 stages, and for anything that happens in between, using our activities. So if there's any follow-up necessary, you just schedule a task for yourself, or if there's a negotiation meeting, you can put it on your calendar and maybe also set up a reminder for yourself using tasks to make sure that it gets followed up on. But we also have a lot of customers that want to kind of visualize who is in what stage. So even when they're following up with prospects, they have them all in prospecting stage. So this can be completely modified to your process. And in reporting, you will be able to report on all your pipelines at once or select individual pipelines. You can create a team report or create report for individual salespeople. You can, of course, tell Nimble what time frame you are looking into, and then you can see in a dashboard here how many deals you have won, your team has won. You can see a team overview based on individual team members over here. It can also be printed out or saved as a PDF. You can use the reporting to forecast your deals and also review deals history. So that's the deals and reporting part of Nimble, we are also in the next few weeks, we are going to be launching a lead pipeline. So you can, the difference is that you can basically create lead pipelines to qualify. Let me refresh here. Need to look into a different account. So for leads, you can quickly create lead pipelines and use it to basically qualify people until they become an opportunity. And then we will have a button for you to move them onto the actual deals pipeline. So this can be used in recruiting, where multiple people are competing for one job. So recruiters can immediately and quickly create leads by filling out only the necessary information about them. So as you can see, you don't have the fields like you have on the deals pipeline for the probability of the win or the amount. So you can also set up integrations and import possible leads from web forms and so on. So they would be automatically coming onto your pipeline here. It can also be used in real estate when, again, there's multiple people competing for a certain property. So before they actually become an actual lead, you can, or before you qualify them properly, you can use this pipeline to visualize who is interested, who are all the people involved, who are all the people that contacted you, and make sure that you are properly following up with all of them and nothing is falling through the cracks. So this is something that is currently being worked on. So I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek here. It will be coming out in the next few weeks. And you can always also pick a list of tagged people. So if you import them and tag them, you can then put them on the pipeline. You can assign leads to team members. You can also sort by these options. So we also will give you the ability to view it in the pipeline or in the list. So this will this might be more familiar view for some of you that are maybe using spreadsheets currently and transitioning into a CRM. So then you would just basically pick the stage here. Looks very much like a spreadsheet. Again, you can add the lead from here as well. So that's a little sneak peek of what's coming. So soon we will have both leads pipeline and deals pipeline with the ability to quickly transfer a qualified lead onto the deals pipeline, assign it to either yourself or somebody else on your team, and so on. So last thing I want to show you is how you can create deals from other places where you might be working. So here we are on LinkedIn. I'm going to bring up our browser extension, and I mentioned at the beginning that the browser extension is available on all main browsers. I'm using Google Chrome, and this is how quickly you can create a contact record in Nimble. So I don't have Jamie on here in my Nimble database, but because he's pretty active on social media, we have been able to find a lot of information about him. And as you saw, I was only able to hover over him. And this button tells me I don't yet have him in my Nimble database. So when I click on the button, I will be able to add him to Nimble. Okay, it got stuck, but here we are. So now he is in Nimble. So if I want to quickly set up the next steps, I could do so from here. So I can add a note straight from here. I can log any past activity or schedule any future activity. So if we're just having a conversation on LinkedIn, I want to make sure that I don't forget to follow up with him before my next meeting. I can put it onto my Nimble right away without having to leave the place where I'm working. I can also send him an email directly from here. I can select from any of the emails I have previously connected to Nimble. My signature will get automatically attached, and I can also use templates. and send it as a thread message and then not get notified only clicks and opens. But back to the deals, this is where you can create deals straight from social media, any company website, basically anywhere that you might be working from your browser, including any third-party applications in also any other CRMs. So this is where you can access it as well. And we also have an extension for Gmail. So it looks basically the same as on the Chrome. So I could also create a deal straight from my Gmail, and I can also do it from my Outlook. So the way the extension looks inside of Outlook is just a little different, and that's because Microsoft limits us in terms of design, but the functionality is same. So you can also click on the plus sign button here and create a deal straight from Outlook and fill everything out here. So today I just wanted to focus strictly on the sales related features inside of Nimble. So again, if you want to if you have any questions, you can of course type them in. Now will be a good time to do so. But if you want a deeper dive, we are going to do a deep dive into Nimble next Wednesday, and I will also be sharing my phone screen showing you what the mobile application looks like. So before we finish up, I also want to show you that you can access a list of our webinars and sign up for them on nimble.com/company/webinars. Vivian will be sharing a link to that landing page where you can sign up. And if you're on our email list, which you probably are since you're here, we will also be inviting you to these webinars. So next week, we are doing a general overview of Nimble and a mobile overview. The following week, at the end of June, we will be doing a webinar that will be focused on Nimble for Teams. We will cover best practices and all features that teams can use to collaborate effectively. And on July 7th, we are doing another general overview. And then July 15th, we also have a special influencer webinar, and we will have published author Sabrina Horn, who will be talking about the need for authentic leadership. So we will again be sending invites for that, and will also be available on this landing page where you can sign up for all our upcoming webinars. We also have a special offer for new users. So sign up today at the landing page before. Again, we will share it in the chat box and also in the follow-up email. So you can sign up there to get 30 days Nimble for free. If you're currently in trial, just write to us at care@nimble.com, and we will be more than happy to extend it for you so you can take advantage of this offer as well. And I'm going to look at questions right now. Danny asked, can you import emails outside of Nimble? So the way we sync emails, I'm going to actually show you what it looks like. So when you go to networks and imports inside of Nimble, you can connect all your emails here, and then we will go 90 days back and we'll automatically sync it from your email. So there's no way to manually import them. We do it automatically. But if you want to get any specific information from your email to Nimble, you can always include it in a note. That would just be a copy and paste, or you can also create a spreadsheet and then import it in bulk. We also have data fields, so you can create up to 5 custom tabs under here, and for each of these you can create, I think, over 100 individual fields. So you could also import specific information about your prospects and customers into these fields. But back to your question, it's done automatically, so there's no way to, as of now, to import them manually. Dana was saying, thank you for adding leads pipeline, very helpful. Will leads pipeline be included with current subscription? I need leads pipeline now, looking forward to using it. It will be included in the regular business, Nimble Business subscription, unless you are on the legacy account. We are not adding new features to that account, but it's going to be in the regular subscription, yes. So I'm going to wait a little longer to make sure that there are no other questions that might be going unanswered. Okay, looks like we have more questions. Erica is saying, we are in a trial and setting up pipelines. If we include prospecting as a stage now, will we be able to move the leads pipeline when it is available, or should we wait? That's a really good question. I worry that it won't be, that there won't be like a convert button. So if possible, I would wait, because also depending on, you know, how many leads you are talking about. So if you are talking, you know, hundreds of leads, then I would definitely wait, because I'm pretty sure it will require some manual process. What I would recommend, since this is coming out very soon, is to maybe have your leads that you receive through your prospecting activities, add them to Nimble and tag them, because then you will be able to select a tag group of people and put them on the leads pipeline. So I would suggest to just stick into the necessary stages for, you know, your qualified people, and the prospects, I would just have them tagged, and you can always easily pull up a list of tagged people. So I'm just going to grab this tag just to demonstrate it, and then make sure that you do the next steps with them, and then you would be able to grab the tag and put them on the lead pipeline once we launch it. Let me know if you have any questions about anything else relating to Nimble. If not, I wanted to thank you for joining me today. And if anything comes to mind later, if you run into any issues, please let us know at care@nimble.com, and we will be more than happy to look into it for you and help you out. So thank you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.